Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So before we dive into it, do me a favor. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. It's also Halloween, so happy Halloween to everybody. I want you to let me know down in the comments below your go-to horror game during October, or I don't know, maybe if you have a yearly tradition where every Halloween you play a specific game, but let me know what that game is. We're going to start here by talking all about the PlayStation 5 Pro because we have just 7 days now until the PS5 Pro launches, just 1 week, and we have a bunch of new information to go over and discuss, starting with the actual box of the PS5 Pro. So as we talked about, certain content creators and influencers and media in games are receiving their PS5 Pro consoles. I believe it was confirmed they're not allowed to actually unbox it yet or like create any content using it or anything like that. It seems like Sony is going to kind of ask them to wait a little bit longer, I guess maybe till sometime next week. But what we are seeing is how large this PS5 Pro box is, or at the very least how it compares to the other PlayStation 5 boxes. And what's interesting is it's actually quite a bit smaller than the original base model PS5 box. Not really, you know, a big deal, obviously, nothing major here, but just still something interesting and worth noting considering the PS5 Pro is a significantly more powerful console overall than the base PS5. But yeah, we'll obviously be hearing more about the PS5 Pro from those who received them early very soon. We're moving on and talking about the PS5 Pro and the PS5 Slim console cover compatibility. The PS5 Pro will have its own plates. The current plates that are available for the PS5 Slim are not compatible with the PS5 Pro, and it's worth noting Sony did make this clear in the PlayStation blog when the PS5 Pro was first announced. But yesterday, a Reddit user apparently got their hands on the PS5 Pro early somehow, and they basically revealed this. They were trying to use the current console covers for the PS5 Slim and put them on the Pro, and it seems like half of the covers, because they're like 4 different pieces, like the bottom plates actually do line up and work, but the top plates, apparently where the connectors are, it's actually placed differently and it's altered. So the top covers just simply won't work. And again, if we go back to the PS5 Pro blog announcement, this was written up and they say here, quote, players can add an Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive or swap out console covers when they become available, end quote. So this was there on the PlayStation blog, but it's also worth noting that a Sony spokesperson did come out and give a statement to IGN saying, quote, PS5 console covers are not compatible with PS5 Pro. However, players will be able to swap out different console covers for PS5 Pro when they become available in the future. And I've been seeing a lot of people who are seemingly very caught off guard by this or very surprised. But yeah, Sony did make it clear from the moment this console was announced that the current PS5 Slim covers are not compatible. But, you know, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. But let me know if you're getting a PS5 Pro, if you're going to be buying any covers for it when they are announced. Moving on, though, we're talking about the PS5 Pro some more here, where we have the developer of the upcoming game Dying Light the Beast letting us know they're planning on taking full advantage of the PS5 Pro. Speaking with Gaming Bolt in a recent interview, the director of the game revealed that Dying Light the Beast will be enhanced for the upcoming Pro console, confirming that the game will take advantage of everything the PS5 Pro has to offer. Quote, we're definitely keeping the latest hardware in mind. We want to make sure Dying Light the Beast takes advantage of everything the PS5 Pro has to offer, but we'll be sharing more about specific enhancements closer to launch. We already had our first attempt at this by adding some improvements to Dying Light 2 Stay Human, but for Dying Light the Beast, we definitely want to take it much, much further. So this is, I would say, some really good news, right? It's a developer of an upcoming game, and this is something that, you know, we're going to see a lot more of as games get closer to their release, you know, 2025 games, 2026 games, so on and so forth. We're going to see developers expressing interest in the PS5 Pro, but also developers like Techland here saying that they really want to kind of push this thing and see how far they can take it and get everything out of it that they can, which is, I would say, pretty exciting overall. But continuing to talk about the Pro, we have another game that's confirmed to be getting PS5 Pro enhanced, that being Lords of the Fallen. It says here the PS5 Pro version of Lords of the Fallen allows players to experience the game with a 40% increase in pixel density over the base PS5 console, resulting in a sharper image and finer details. Performance mode delivers rich visual detail at 4K 60 FPS, upscaled from 1440p with a fluid 60 frames per second, sharper distant details, and refined texture on characters and environments. For those prioritizing visual fidelity, quality mode runs at native 4K 30 FPS, showcasing intricate visuals across the dual realms of Axiom and Umbral at a stable 30 FPS. So they say here, interestingly, the developers have also teased that further updates and enhancements are planned for the game as a whole, so we'll want to kind of keep an eye on that, see if they end up adding even more for the PS5 Pro version. But there you go. If Lords of the Fallen is a game you're either playing or planning on playing on the PS5 Pro, it's going to have a 40% increase in pixel density for the performance mode. But finally here, and this will conclude our topics for the PS5 Pro, we're talking about Dragon's Dogma 2. This is a game that a lot of people are going to be really interested in knowing how much the PS5 Pro is going to boost this title, because this game has struggled quite a bit. So they just updated the game and it adds support for the PS5 Pro, and the features are as follows: PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. This is under the options settings under graphics, and they also added a balanced option for the Pro. And so they don't really say what it's going to do, but again, it's there. It's prepped for Dragon's Dogma 2. And that's a game that I'm going to be interested in seeing what is the Pro going to do for this title. Moving on to the next topic, though, we have a very important update for an upcoming PS5 exclusive, that being Insomniac's Wolverine. We are learning that the creative director has actually departed the studio and has joined Microsoft, and top development talent at Ratchet Clank is now helming Wolverine. This is being reported by Steven Totillo, and it's an exclusive scoop he got revealed through his game file, and it's being reported here by Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. It says the game is now being helmed by creative director Marcus Smith, a representative for Sony Interactive Entertainment, has confirmed the game file. Mike Daly will serve as Wolverine's new game director. Wolverine's previously announced game director Cameron Christian will remain at the studio in a different role. This is what GameFile understands. Smith and Daly are a formidable new duo for Wolverine. They previously held creative director and game director roles, respectively, on Insomniac's acclaimed 2021 PS5 release Ratchet Clank Rift Apart. The changes atop the Wolverine development team are the result of creative decisions around the game, the two sources told GameFile. SIE's rep declined to comment on the reason for the role changes on Wolverine. As for Horton, who previously worked as the creative director on another lauded Insomniac game, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, he has already found a new high-profile gig. He's the new creative director of the Xbox-published Perfect Dark, the highly anticipated FPS that is being co-developed by Microsoft's The Initiative and Embracer-owned Crystal Dynamics. Horton will be bringing his wealth of experience to the upcoming reboot of the classic Secret Agent series, an Xbox rep confirmed to GameFile. So this is a very significant shakeup for Insomniac's Wolverine, and obviously we don't know what the result of this is going to be. But what I do find very interesting here, and this is probably the most important part of all of this, is that the reason for this change has to do with certain creative decisions. Now, when we think about Wolverine, we automatically think about the massive Insomniac hack that occurred last year, where pretty much the entirety of that game spilled out onto the internet, to a point where if you search Wolverine right now, like Wolverine PS5 gameplay, you'll be able to find it. It's rough and early in development, but the entire layout of the game is out there. And there was quite a bit of criticism, like more than I would have expected. There were a lot of things that people did like and people were excited about, but there was a fair share of criticism. And so you really do have to wonder if maybe, Sony just isn't really happy with the way Wolverine is coming together. But you know, that's just speculation. But what we do know based off of this report is that, creatively speaking, there were decisions that led to this, right? That led to, you know, Brian Horton departing, that led to new directors, basically a whole new, I guess you could say, leadership kind of taking over this game. Very interesting stuff here. It's also worth noting that we did hear recently from an insider, I don't know if it's true or not, that we're going to be seeing more of Wolverine soon. So I don't know what that has to, you know, do with the timing of this, but either way, this is something I'm going to be paying very close attention to, because Wolverine is a game that I'm still very excited for, and I just want to see Insomniac get it right. I want to see them nail it, and if this is what needs to happen in order to ensure that, then so be it. You know, I'm going to approach this with, you know, a level of optimism here, where the individuals that worked on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, I mean, Rift Apart was a great game, not comparable to what we would expect from Wolverine, but just, you know, getting down to making a great, well-playing game that everybody can basically get behind and enjoy. Do that for Wolverine, but obviously make the Wolverine game that people have been wanting. Something more mature, something maybe a bit darker, certainly darker than what we've seen with the Spider-Man games. You do that, and I think you're going to have a very successful game on your hands. But I wanted to be sure to report this to you guys because it's, again, quite a significant shakeup. And, you know, at the end of the day, hopefully both of these games turn out to be good. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.